Hello and welcome to Talkin Baseball, Game 1 of the World Series. If you missed it, don't worry. You missed an all-timer. Rangers, El Bombi! Seawall. Hello and welcome to Talkin Baseball, presented to you by SeatGeek. My goodness, I hope you had a seat in Arlington tonight. A special ball game. And SeatGeek is giving you the code JOHNBOY Postseason. Save yourself 10% off when you're buying ticks. Whether you're going out to Arizona, Arlington, maybe your team's out of it and you're going to the theater, or wherever else SeatGeek sells 70,000 tickets each day. Download the app. It's so easy to use. I use it. Code JOHNBOY Postseason. Save yourself 10%. What are you doing? Click the link in the description. Trevor, people were saying this postseason kind of wasn't it. You know, new postseason format still people getting adjusted to. Wild cards were all sweeps. A lot of the big dogs didn't make it to the World Series. Here we are in Game 1, and I think we got what people were looking for. How are you, my friend?
An incredible game. I am well. Thank you for asking. We were talking before the show. It felt like it was more than one's game worth of action, and you pointed out to me, well, Trav,
yeah,
it did go into extra innings, so it does make sense. Yeah, man, a great game, and really, as we've been leading up to the World Series, we've talked about the possibilities, of the teams that could have been in, and we talked about those storylines. Once we started focusing on the series that we have in front of us, I think we all realized this has the potential to be a really good series just because of the different ways these teams do things. And I think they were all kind of on display today. You know, the Snakes just running wild on the base pass, moving runners. Everyone's trying to bunt, do all these things. It's the chaos brand of baseball that they love to play. And then you have the Rangers, who are just never out of a game because they have guys that can go up top at any given moment. So we had it all today, and I'm definitely excited to chop it up and talk some ball with you, big guy.
I am too. We're, you and I are having, me and Beebs having a special day. You came on Wake and Jake today where we talk some ball and life, and the cherry on top, midnight on the East Coast, we get some good ball. I think we got to get into it because we have about 2 baseball games to talk about within one game.
Go Yankees.
Oh, whoops.
Whoa.
Yeehaw! Welcome to the Fall Classic between the two teams we had going there in February. The Cardiac Cobras, thanks Dalton for that one, versus Trevor Plouffe's Texas Rangers. Snakes would see how far they could get on a gallon of gas with Zach against Nate Dog Eovaldi as he tries to make it regulate for the Rangers. In the first, Mr. Carter, I am him. Around the world now, I'm back again. He gets the RBI double. Dolly, remember that guy. It's 2-0 Rangers in the first. Nate looked nasty till the third. Carroll. RBI triple for Corbin. And how about Marte with the RBI ground out? Takes a 3-2 lead. Texas ties it up. Mitch Garver, RBI walk, bases hucked. They get out of it. It's 3-3, and then it's all in the family. Tommy turns on one off the second deck, and then it's a Marte parte the next inning. It's 5-3, Snakes after 5. This is going to be a Red River shootout. Maybe it's not, because here comes the Snakes pen. We're clean in the 6th, in the 7th, in the 8th, into the 9th. Paul Wall, the mouth of the South, gets got by Corey. See you in hell. Seager with the game-tying 2-run home run. We're tied up at 5-0 in the 10th. And then Badalala El Bombi. He goes Apo Taco. How's your 11 homers now 12 in 20 games? He's out of his dome with that big dome. The Texas Rangers. Eovaldi gave up 5. Dunning, Bradford, Gray, Smith, and Leclerc gave up 0. The Texas Rangers walk it off 6-5 final as they take Game 1 in Arlington.
Incredible. Incredible job for you and incredible job for the Rangers.
It feels
both teams. I'll give both teams. Hey man, look, I know you got bit. Snakes get bit by animals. They sure do. They got bit tonight. They played a good baseball game though. They really did.
Trev, I mean, it feels like 2 baseball games. It genuinely does, and it's almost comical because I was wondering if these games were going to have this feel, but reverse because of the Snakes bullpen being able to hold in the storyline they've been in the playoffs. Nathan Eovaldi, who's building up playoff folklore. I think he was 4th in starting pitcher win percentage in the playoffs. Zach Gallen had been getting roughed around, and he gives up 2 in the first that, I don't know. I had the thought of, is this game going to unravel, and are we going to get the World Series that we were worried about, that maybe Texas is going to win some blowouts, the Snakes were going to extend some leads late because they had the bullpen. So I think we start with Gallen and Eovaldi, and then we'll get to the second half.
Yeah, I mean, obviously very important to this game, the outings those guys had. Eovaldi cruised through the first 2 innings. I believe he had 4 Ks through 2, was looking nasty. And then in the top of the third, it was snake ball. Alec Thomas had, a chopper for an infield hit, not going to catch him real fast. Longo, my guy, makes it first and second. Perdomo bunts him over. And then Corbin Carroll hits a triple. And all of a sudden, they start playing that brand of baseball that puts pressure on a defense, puts pressure on a pitcher. They're stealing bases, moving runners, and it shook Eovaldi up a little bit. 5 earnings through 4 2/3, and Gallen, he pitches through some adversity in the first. I like that. I think I just made that up. He pitched through some adversity. Sure. I like it. But I think him being able to settle down was everything until what happened later in the game. But in the game, the Snakes were ahead because he was able to go through 5 and get to that bullpen that Torey likes to get to. So, him settling down, I think he was at 70 pitches through 3, and he ends up going 5 innings pitched, 99 pitches, giving the length that Torey Lovullo needs. So, Gallen settling in, doing his job, I think was great for the Snakes. Eovaldi getting touched up, that hurts the ego a little bit. Got to be honest with you. He had that clean postseason record, doesn't have that anymore. But I think Gallen here, I mean, the numbers are obviously better, but it was a gutsier, better performance by Gallen, man. The fact that he was able to settle down after that first inning is kind of everything for the Snakes.
There's so much in this game. Eovaldi looked great to start.
Yeah.
Eovaldi looked nasty. Even it's normally that fastball split, but the slow breaker was there. A couple slide cutters were looking good. It was, I mean, my initial reaction after the 7th inning was like, you might be staring down Nate for 7-8 innings tonight.
Yeah.
And then kudos to the Snakes. There is something dumb about baseball and those stupid pitchers, Trev. That first time you get them in the stretch, it's just a little different. It's just a little different, and that changed the whole tone. They locked in, and they come out of the 5th inning. You're right. Gallen survives and gives kind of a gutsy effort. Found pitches when he needed to, although that top of the lineup gave him hell, and that's, as this series progresses, whether it's the bullpen or whether it's the starter going through that 2 or 3 times, right now to get through Seager and Garcia, it's it's a hellscape. It reminds you of some of those top of the lineup playoff teams we've seen. I go back to a couple of the Red Sox teams that just had dominant top threes in their lineup, and every team. It's obviously where you have your best hitters, but right now they're on a different level, and so we get to the bullpen. Thompson does great. Joe Mantiply actually navigates that part of the lineup pretty damn well. Ginkle comes in. First time we've seen him shaken up a little bit. On the other side, Dunning, Bradford, they do their job. John Gray, circle that for the rest of this series. A guy that's done a lot of stuff in this league, hasn't been involved, and he looked good out of the bullpen. He looked, when you see a starter go to the bullpen and their stuff looks like it has a little extra sauce on it, that felt important. And then, it comes down to guys. Paul Sewald's a couple pitches away from we're talking about a nice Snakes win where they stole 4 bases and they had good at bats. They did their thing instead. It's a totally different story.
Yeah, looks like Mantiply, is he the new Sal Frank, or that's the lefty lane?
So that was kind of a surprise because we saw Mantiply as an opener. And we've seen them use Mantiply. They like him. Like he was their all-star last year, I think, the lone all-star from the Snakes. So I don't know. I wonder if that was even like a bit of a, let's surprise them. Like, let's hit them with Mantiply in that first lefty lane because they went to Sal Frank in the previous series. Or maybe Sal Frank lost some trust because he had been walking the ballpark. So they go with the veteran, and he looks good. He punches Carter's ticket, who his numbers are bad. He punched Carter and Seager. Or maybe
so
Seager.
It seems to me like Sal Frank struggling with the strike zone a little bit, maybe made Torrey make this move here. And then Ginkle, like you mentioned, he gets he didn't have command of his off-speed pitch, so he started to just throw heaters, and he got the job done with heaters. I thought that was, for him to know that he can do that, without his good stuff, I think is important. I agree with you. The John Gray outing, that could prove to be down the line a very important piece for these Rangers, as you're not always going to have a fresh bullpen, and you're going to have a guy eat some of these innings. And if you do it like that, 1 2/3 with 4 Ks, that's going to be beneficial for the Rangers. I want to go over a few plays before I think we get to like Sewald, and I guess here, bro, Rangers bullpen, you deserve apologies from everybody. How many runs has and I don't want to jinx them, whatever.
What do you mean, Trev?
Sorry, I'm just going to bring this up. How many runs has the Rangers bullpen given up?
Trev, I don't know what you're talking about.
Not many.
This Rangers bullpen, we've been talking about them. They're different.
And there was a lot of it wasn't the A guys today. Spores wasn't in there. Leclerc gives them 2 innings
at the end. Looks
end.
good. Leclerc at the
Huge
end looks
for
good.
them. But it's nice for these guys to get in, kind of get their feet wet a little bit in this World Series and have clean outings. The confidence will obviously be there. I thought one inning in particular that really meant something in this game that's probably going to get overlooked is in the top of the 7th. So at that point, the score is 5-3. Carroll's up. He bunts and then make a nice play on him. Yeah. And then Marte hits the ball up the middle, and Simeon makes a really good play on him. So, that's the Diamondbacks brand of baseball. Run the bases hard, put pressure on the defense. If the Rangers don't make those plays, then, possibly opens up for more runs, and then we don't have this Seager moment. But they make the plays there, get the job done, keep the game within reach, and then we get your boy Paul Wall coming in, and that top of the lineup coming up. And I don't know, man.
Yeah.
Seager is they tried to pitch around him. Gallen did. I thought Adolis, was the guy you have to be worried about, like big homers, and clearly that was also the case tonight. But you got 2 of these dudes now who you can't even pitch to. You can't pitch to these guys. There's 2 of them in the lineup. That's a problem.
Man, the moments you forget in these games, because baseball, something I stumbled into one day that Jimmy was like, that's, for a Jakeism, that's pretty good. On one pitch in baseball, you could see one thing, you could see the pitch, or you could see 1,000 things. It's basically like a picture shows 1,000 words or whatever, like baseball, where guys are standing, where the runner is, like everything that's going on. How about the last out, top 9? Corbin Carroll puts a charge into one at the wall that El Bombi makes it's a nice catch on. I mean, it was nothing crazy, but it's nice. But, hey, Corbin Carroll hooks that ball a little more, and we're talking about 6-3 going into the ninth. That could have felt a little different. And then the thing that's probably hurting Seawald, well, I shouldn't say hurting Seawald more. 5-pitch walk to Tavares after the first pitch strike. 4 balls after that. Never walk the 9-hole hitter. Because that changes everything. He comes out, he punches Simeon, who 3 pitches, a really nice sequence, sweeper, four-seamer under his hands. And Simeon was in a tight spot, but let's see if he gets sparked, because he gets a hit in his extra innings at bat. Like at some point, the dam is going to break there. That now you have to pitch to Corey Seager with a runner on first that you've been dodging all game. And something that, there's a lot of ball knowers out there, Trev, especially after something happens. A lot of people were saying, hey, Paul Sewald, we talked about the unique fastball. Where's he been pitching the past couple years? He's been in Seattle. This Texas team has seen him a few times, and a few of these guys have nice numbers against him that, well, for a night, that feels pretty significant. Because Seager just leans back into one. I mean, as majestic of a homer, and, a guy not known for his emotion, he lets a little bit out. Because, that's what's in his head. When he steps up to the plate with a runner on first base, he's not saying, I'm going to slap one the other way. He's a World Series MVP, and he could be on his way to another unless that other monster dude behind him in the lineup outclubs him the rest of the way, because that's all he's doing. Another Snakes thing, Kyle Nelson comes in, and he gives a really valiant effort, gets the double play ball, really nice turn on that. And I got a text from Dalton a second ago that was also, we're talking about Sal Frank and where he's going to be in this series. Like, he was the lefty that got left out tonight. So who knows if he's in timeout or if it's a break glass in case of emergency or something like that. But as we put together the puzzle pieces of this series,
112 off the bat, 33-degree launch angle. It's out of everywhere.
Yeah.
I mean, and that freaking bat of his, man.
What is that?
I'm going to shout out the company because I just looked it up. I thought I saw this logo. It's Trinity Bat Company. So it's like a smaller brand. But what great marketing for them. It looks like Seager's been using that bat the entire year. Like literally the entire year. So good job, guys. You made a very quality bat. And that thing has got some pop in it.
Sure does.
And then, okay. Seager ties the game up. Okay? You come back, you strike out Evan Carter. Great. You nail Adolis Garcia in the hand. Okay. He steals second base right away.
First pitch. That's always so cool.
Just gone. Mitch Garver, go ahead, free pass, because you pinch ran for Jonah Heim the inning before. You don't have any more catchers on your roster. I don't think. I'd assume. Austin Hedges is up.
Yep.
The chance to win a World Series game. Hasn't had an at-bat in a month, bro. Hasn't even sniffed the field. He's not known as an offensive catcher. We know that. He steals strikes. He handles the pitching staff. He's a great guy in the clubhouse. He does a lot of things well. Hitting right now is not one of them, and it's very difficult to come in against a quality reliever like that and do your job. Sewald toyed with them, man.
Yeah.
You knew Sewald's like, all right, this guy's coming in, guns a-blazing. How much testosterone and energy does he have flowing through his body? A lot. Sweeper, sweeper, sweeper. See you later. It wasn't even close. Come on, Hedgie. Come on, man.
That was tough. Tough AB. Good pitcher, hasn't hit in a while. Hey, Chris Rose, so horny for a hit.
Yeah, that's what I wanted. I wanted it for Rose more than for Hedgie.
Trev, we lost it because I let out a casual. I was like, the horniest man in the world right now is Chris Rose. Like, if Austin Hedges gets a game-winning World Series hit, like Chris, there could be another kid on the way. Like one of those
off of Paul Sewald, who he just interviewed.
Like, and so I say that, and then a couple seconds later we hear a bunch of chuckles because all Chris Rose could get out in his epileptic state was please, please, please on Twitter. And it wasn't happening. Sorry, Hedgie. Hey, next game, Hedgie.
He's gotten a bat under his belt now. He's ready to go.
Rust is off.
Okay. Inning over. Leclerc comes in. Cleans it up. Nothing happens in the 10th, as you mentioned. Leclerc's back out there. Cleans it up. Brings it to the 11th.
Yeah.
Actually,
Leclerc looked
funny.
really good.
I forgot that in the 10th, Seager got a chance to do it again.
Yeah.
Grounded out. Didn't get it done. Leclerc looked really good. Carter flies out in the bottom of the 11th. They change pitchers. Here comes Miguel Castro for the righty. Adolis Garcia. First pitch is nowhere near the strike zone. He gets a 2-0. I think he swung at a 2-0 changeup, I believe. Let me get that up. Yeah, 2-0 changeup. Another changeup, 3-1. You get the 3-1, tries to go down and away, does not go down and away. It was like when Jose Altuve hit the homer earlier this postseason when you said you just kind of expected it.
Wasn't
didn't
surprised.
You just kind of expect it?
Wasn't surprised. Like I'll never expect a player to hit a home run, but wasn't surprised for a second.
With him right now, it is like, okay, dude, you got the 3-1 and you're going to throw him a heater? Like, take your chance. I got to be honest with you. Take your chances with the next guy. I know Mitch Garver can hit, but take your chances with him. You're going to throw a 3-1 heater?
That's a great point, Trev. I guess I haven't even gotten there. You got nobody on base. Although I was also saying in my head, if he walks, he's stealing first pitch again. Miguel Castro pretty slow to the plate.
Okay, and then you walk Mitch Garver, and then you pitch to freaking Hedges again.
Double the free double to Adoli. You might still be playing baseball instead. My God. Snakes. I mean, you essentially won a ball game. Like your closer who had been so nails this playoffs. You
gave him a 2-run lead and said, here you go.
It's tough. It's really tough.
But that's how you have to approach it though, right? Like if you're the Snakes, it sucks. You got the the life taken away from you, or that doesn't even make any sense. You know what I'm saying though. It was a tough one, but like you did it. Like you did everything you're supposed to do. It just the closer didn't close the game. That's it. Everything else worked before that. So you have to take that into tomorrow, I think. As difficult as that may be.
Let me see. What are some combos from this game I want to have? I want to do a not fun one for my Snakes. Trev, Christian Walker is in the bad place right now. I thought, I like when a really good player, they get a next series. Man, it's in between or any of the words you like to throw out when a guy's not there. This is the World Series now. The Snakes only have, if they lose 3 games in the next 6, their season is over. They do not win the World Series. Can you do anything? Do you shake it up? Like, does that, you give it one more game, and if it looks like that, then you shake it up? Because My man's in a bad spot right now.
I think he's going to continue to play. He plays a great first base, so he's defensively he's going to be there.
You play him, absolutely.
He's playing, so Torey can move him down the lineup. Surely that is something that he's thinking about right now. Can we move this guy down? And managers always say, "Oh, it takes a little pressure off." Does it really? I don't know. Not really.
Depends.
I'm still going up there to hit.
Yeah.
I still could come up there with runners in scoring position, my first at bat, and it'll feel just like I was in the 4-hole.
Bases loaded in the 8th. That hitting 7th doesn't matter.
No, it doesn't. So for him, yeah. I mean, you're searching, man, and you're trying to do anything. You're trying to tell yourself, well, stay the course. Continue to put the work in, and the results will come. You try to tell yourself that. The only problem is it ain't 162 anymore. It's the World Series.
Yeah,
and you got to get going. It's put up or shut up time. So there are some things you can do, man. You could 2-strike approach it. And you guys are gonna laugh at this or think it's stupid, or most people are, like, fake bunt. Like, see the pitch as deep as you can see it, man. Well, I mean, you can try to bunt, but I'd rather him not. I'd rather him just right here.
Yeah,
literally tracking
First
the ball
pitch.
in. I know it sounds stupid, but he's got to change the vision because he doesn't have it right now. So it's either that or you kind of like 2-strike it, no stride, something like that. Really try to work the inside part of the ball, let the ball travel as deep as possible. It's not really how he swings, though. So that would be a big adjustment for him. What's probably going to happen, Jake, is I think he's just going to keep going up there and just hope it clicks.
Yeah, I mean, again, we are a Corey Seager half-inch swing lower from probably saying, how about the Snakes and a 5-3 victory and awesome and blah, blah, blah. That you definitely, I think you roll it for another day because Christian Walker's a really good ball player, and maybe he gets Monty tomorrow and he's a hero. If he looks like that tomorrow, anything's on the table. Like,
you think Torey would sit him? I don't know, man.
I don't think sit him. No, I don't think sit him because I don't think anyone on the bench even really jumps out as like, I need to get that guy in. And he does play really good defense, and that's why, hey, if your kids at home, when sometimes, especially we preach, hey, if you hit, we'll find a spot for you. Well, if you could do the other stuff, he stole a bag in this game. Like we when we talk about these Snakes running crazy, Christian Walker is a part of that. So I don't know. Especially if like a Tommy Pham has another good game or Lourdes runs into a couple, I just think it's got to be on the table. All that being said, Torey Lovullo could be saying I'm an idiot right now because this same team, when they were coming out of Philadelphia after getting blown out, down 2 games, they were done. When they were going back to Philadelphia and had to win 2 games, they were done. So the answer backs, the rally backs, I think we say this for sports teams, and sometimes we're guessing. I don't know. I mean, this team got embarrassed that game 2 in Philly, and they came out and they won 2 ball games. So I think they're sitting okay. It's just when we're talking World Series, to lose the first game like that, and the stat that blew my mind coming out of this, the Diamondbacks have played in 4 World Series road games in franchise history. 4 World Series road games. In 3 of those games, they've given up game-tying 2-run homers in the bottom of the 9th.
Oh.
It's a nightmare. That's a living World Series nightmare. They ended up winning that World Series, though, so I don't know. What else is spinning on your mind, Trev?
I think we saw some managerial decisions we probably won't see. I don't think Jonah Heim gets pinch run for anymore. I just don't. It's just, you can't take his bat out of the lineup and again, like, I'm not trying to bash on Hedgie here.
Right.
I'm not. But that could have been a big part of this game. It could have been a big part of this game. If Castro didn't serve a cookie up there 3-1, like I said, and you walk Garver, then you face Hedges again, it's like that could come into play. I don't think we see that anymore. Do you? Do you think that's even a possibility? It would have to be like bottom of the ninth. You got put him on third base, or I don't even know, man.
Yeah, I mean, I think you would. I know that at bat was tough to watch. Sorry, we're still talking about it, Edgy.
But it's important though because it's going to come up again in the series.
It ended up working out. Like I know for different reasons essentially, but I don't know. Texas doesn't feel bad about anything they did tonight.
Yeah.
If they need a run, they've got Smith, they've got Jankowski. Their Bochy will hit that button. So, but yeah, if you're the Diamondbacks and you're Torrey and their team, they're looking at the box score right now, saying like, hey, maybe you can't let that guy beat you. Like that's one of the old sports sayings, right? Like you had to pitch to Seager. It's the ninth inning. There's a runner on first. I get it. Doley with one out and nobody on. We're there. 12 homers in 20 games or something like that.
Make Mitch Garver beat you.
Make Mitch.
I think we're gonna see that, dude. I think we're gonna see that. I think a lot of people are gonna be mad about it, and they're gonna want to see Adolis hit. I don't think after today's game, when you look at those three, you have Seager, Carter, and Adolis. They're the ones putting up the best at bats in that Rangers lineup. Not even, Garver's had himself a few. He's done well, but those are the three you look at.
Yeah.
You can't just always pitch around Seager because then you're leaving, Carter's had good at bats, and then you have Adolis to answer to. So like Seager's going to see some pitches to hit. He's going to get into some situations, and you're going to have to pitch to him. I don't think you ever have to pitch to Adolis. I know Garver's there, and I know Heim is usually there.
Right.
I get that, but I would rather take my chances with that part of the lineup than just continue to feed this guy. You can't. He's too hot right now, man. Like maybe first at bat you just really try to make him expand and get him chasing, and maybe that gets him off a little bit. But it seems to me like even when earlier in the game, if he was to strike out or have a bad at bat, it wouldn't matter. Like I don't think he's thinking like that whatsoever right now. I think every time he goes up to the plate, he's just like, I'm going to do something awesome.
Trav, for me, this normally feels lazy. Like sometimes you'll see guys that play college football at the same school and they get compared to each other and they're, player comp. And it's like, oh, well, just because they played at the same school doesn't mean they're the same player comp. Dude, this is Randy 2.0. The guy doesn't get out. He steals a base if he needs to. First pitch after getting hit. Like, the dudes are boys. Like, and they're doing it. And just something for my analytics binder. And if you get bored and you want to go listen to it, I did an episode with Foolish Bailey on potential postseason breakout guys. My basic formula is guys that attack the ball. Like, you can go into Adolis' baseball reference profile and, he's got a 302 career on base percentage. I don't care. It's the playoffs, and you need to win each pitch, and you hone in better, and you're not chasing stuff in the dirt. And I'm not taking credit for his success. He's also awesome. He's driven in 100 runs the past 2 years. But where he's at right now, pitching around guys worked for Arizona last series. Like, let's be honest. When they pitched around Schwartz and Harper. They did. And that's going to be the interesting game. How much can you really dodge their dudes? And tonight, Seager 2-run homer to tie it. Adolis to win. Trev, let's wrap it up at how you and I normally wrap up a night. It's with a couple Blue Moons. Because under the bright lights of the playoffs, Blue Moon Belgian-style wheat ale is a beer that's made brighter. It's bold, beautiful. Blue Moon is as iconic as America's pastime. I had a couple the other day. Linked up with a couple people, a little belated B-Day soiree. Give me that blue moon. I need it. I want it. And you can go get yourself some blue moon. And heck, the playoff game's about to begin. World Series. Go to get.bluemoonbeer.com/baseball. Find out your blue moon delivery options. That's get.bluemoonbeer.com/baseball. From Golden, Colorado. It was brewed in the stadium, Trev.
Yeah.
Coors. Get bluemoonbeer.com. I just lost my voice. Do you have anything from this game, or do you want to tee up tomorrow a little bit?
I think we kind of covered everything I wanted to cover in this game. Simeon was something I wanted to talk about. You kind of hit on it. Like, you get the hit in your last at bat. What does that do for you? I mean, that could spill over very easily. And then we're talking about a whole different Texas Rangers lineup. I do want to emphasize the point that we've come across a few times here. Like, the Diamondbacks did everything right except give up a game tying and a game winning homer.
They got to Eovaldi, bro. He looked
look, I feel like Snakes fans should be heartbroken, but also like, no, like, dang, like, we can do this. Not that they don't think they can do this, but you know what I mean. It was a pretty good game played by them.
The Texas Rangers bullpen. I mean, let me just get the innings right. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 6.1 shutout. Had been a complete liability.
2 hits in those innings, no walks.
I think, one, let's see how the Snakes bounce back from this, because they haven't lost the bullpen game. They hadn't been beat when Seawald and Ginkel and Thompson had gone out there. They have not been beat. Let's see how that feels and how they bounce back. And if you're the Snakes, you do have to be kicking yourself a little bit. Your bullpen did hold them for 1, 2, 3, or your pitching held them for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 innings. And you didn't add any tack-ons. That, again, one swing, one bounce could have felt different. I think I'm excited for this series. I'll tell you that much.
I hope everyone watched today. People that were on the fence, like, oh, I'm not sure I'm going to watch this series because of the teams. I hope they watch tonight. They're going to see a lot of highlights of this game. I think it'll bring people in. Not that we really care, but I want more people to watch baseball. That's always fun.
Why not?
It's kind of like what we do.
Monty versus Merrill Kelly tomorrow. Both of them have been looking really good.
Yeah.
We will be live streaming tomorrow, 8 p.m., JM Baseball Channel. Jambino. I think Jolly's going to be there tomorrow. Dalton, who's in his feels right now, literally and figuratively.
Wow.
And Snakes fans, or America, if you're still looking for your rooting interest, if it goes to game 5, Little Poppy will be lifeguarding the pool in Arizona. So I think we can.
Oh, we got to get there.
As a country, we can't agree on a lot, but I think we can agree on we can make a good time out of that. So
Poppy to Phoenix.
I might just show up in a costume and then just like fake drown and see what happens.
We should do what we've been talking about. Do the Big Brother drowning thing, just a little too long. Let me up, man. It's just not cool.
Mom!
It's not cool, dude. Trevor Goof.
Don't tell Mom.
And also, James sent his best. He was supposed to be here. His last train had to go. And he wanted to say, which we all want to say, thank you for 100K on YouTube.
Oh.
Pretty cool.
Oh, baseball? Nobody likes baseball. A baseball podcast? What?
Thanks, guys. That is cool.
Thank you.
It's a nice one.
It's very cool. Very cool. We will see you guys after game 2. Snakes 4-2? I don't know.
Okay. Whoa. Jake sucks.
You got to burn that hat now. That's tough.
Ugh.